starting.
All right. Hey guys, Doc here with another deck profile. Actually gonna do one of my own decks. Bobby behind the camera hates it.
No, when he pulls this out, I get up and walk away.
He does not like this deck. He really does not. Let me take off my glasses. They're fogging up a little bit. Yeah. This deck is pure cancer. It's pretty bad.
It truly is.
So this is Numeron generators, Numerators, whatever you want to call them. So let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty. So first of all, we got a triple. First off, with the generator monsters, we got triple Mardell. They're in the frame, right? But like they're centered and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that, guys. No,
that's my fault.
It's all good.
I'm bad.
We got triple Mardell. She is a searcher of the deck. She lets you search for any generator card, and whenever she's specialed. And with this deck, you're going to be specialing out a lot of generators a lot of the time, and so she's pretty good in that regard.
When I see her, I know I've lost.
When you see her, you're like, oh, you're playing that deck. Next, we're playing triple Lopter, aka Loki.
Yeah, Lopter's cool.
The boy used to be Lonefire, now it's Lopter, because Lonefire will get you Mardell. Now Lopter gets you Mardell and also anything else on either main phase, which is pretty nice. And also he buffs all your generators on your opponent's turn by 1,000, which if they don't know about that effect and they crash into you, well, it's pretty funny. All right, next up we got double Har, aka Odin.
Oh my god.
He is basically a Solemn Judgment. Not as potent as a Solemn Judgment, but pretty good. Whenever a card or effect is activated, you can contribute 2 generators or spellcasters to negate and destroy it. And also, whenever your opponent adds a card from their deck to their hand outside their draw step, you can basically make them Dark Law something, but it's their choice, and it goes to grave. It sends to grave. It doesn't banish.
Har says you have a bad day, right?
Har definitely says you have a bad day, and he's a 3K. He's a 3K big boy.
Yeah,
it's pretty nice.
He's annoying.
We're running 2 Frody, Generator Boss of Swords. He says you contribute any number of generator monsters or warrior monsters to pop that many monsters your opponent controls. I believe it says face up. No, just monsters on the field, destroy them. But your opponent gets to draw for each one. So if you're playing a non-Numeron variant, you're probably going to want to go with something like Drone Lotbird main deck, not just because it's a good, disruption for your opponent, but also it's good because it keeps your cards from giving them draws, which I've actually had problems because he can make someone draw like 4 cards when you have to pop 4 because you don't have an out to anything.
Yeah, make sure you don't give your opponent anything.
Next up,
they don't deserve nice things.
Yep. Next up, we got 2 Nidhogg's.
Oh my god.
He's basically Solemn Warning on legs. He's pretty good. Stops inherent summons. Whenever your opponent would summon a monster, you can contribute a generator or a worm. Basically, they say you contribute a generator or their corresponding type. So his is a worm, Fruity's is a warrior, etc., etc. And he just stops any inherent summons, negates the summon, and destroys it. This is pretty nice. And he only tributes 1. Someone found that out the hard way because Har has to tribute 2.
Yeah.
One Garda, thinking about putting it to 2. Generator Boss of Delusion. He's pretty good. He's part of the few removal stuff that you have in the deck. You tribute 2 generators or rocks, and you can banish a card on the board, but he targets, which kind of sucks. And these are all level 9s, by the way.
Yeah, so that makes other problems later. And
we got some more 1-ofs. We have 1 Hela, 1 Develgus, and 1 Naglfar. So not a lot of people run Develgus. I do because I kind of want to keep with the theme, and also he's good in a pinch. Hela, she's thick, 2800 defense. Also, she tributes a zombie or a generator monster to bring out a zombie or generator monster from your graveyard. Devolgus does the same thing with machines and generators, but instead of specialing from the grave, he specials from hand. So not a lot of people use him because you're getting stuff out of your hand anyways, but again, I like him. And then Naglfar, he's a big boy, 3100. But also, he says if any of your generators be destroyed, you can destroy another card instead. Not tribute, destroy, which is pretty cool, but so you don't really see a lot of use for that.
Yeah, I mean, you're okay with you're usually okay with some of your stuff getting destroyed.
Yeah, pretty much. We're running one Trias Hierarchia and one Nightmare Incarnation Italy. I'm running him because the tokens generated off the boss stage field spell are fairies. So he says during either player's turn, you can special summon him from your hand or graveyard by attributing 1 to 3 fairies, and he gains effects based on the number of fairies. And so that boss stage generates as many tokens as it can. So this gets rid of your attack mode tokens that you aren't using if you're not using them, and also lets you draw cards if you tribute 3, and he's just a really good card in general. And also he's level 9, so he fits with he's very synergistic with the deck. Same with Italy. Italy's really good. She stops them exploding off of World Legacy Monstrosity, which is another spell we're running in the deck whenever we get to that. And also just says level 9s can't be destroyed by card effects, which is great because then they have to respond to her. Or else you're basically just going to have negates on the board that can't be destroyed by card effects. You're basically going to have a board full of Dragoons, which is nice. So yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Next, Numeron Engine. Numeron Engine. Numeron Engine. It's self-explanatory.
So I do have one question.
Yeah.
What made you think of this?
Made me think of this? You getting mad at my deck. I thought of this before, but I was like, I don't really want to run it because it'll make the deck a bit more inconsistent because I was playing a really good variant control build with it. Then I was like, Bobby got really mad whenever I pulled it out on him the other day. How can I make this even more cancerous? And so I was like, let's put Numerons in it.
So you did this literally just to mess with me?
No, just mess with everybody, because how can you say no to a board with him and an S0 on it?
You don't.
Exactly. It's great.
No, it's not.
It's fantastic. So we're running 3 calling, 3 networks, 3 walls. If you don't know what these do, I mean, you probably haven't been on the receiving end of them.
Yeah, they're not fun.
Or not playing them.
They're fun if you play them, they're not fun if you're receiving.
Yep. Now we're going to go with the deck itself. 3 Generator boss stage. This is the deck. This is always the deck. This will always be the deck. It's a field spell. Whenever your opponent adds a card from their deck to their hand, and that includes drawing in their draw phase, you can special summon any generator from your deck in defense mode. And then if it's their turn, you can special summon as many generator tokens as possible in attack mode. And they're 1500, level 4, I think, fairies. So this lets you get out your generator bosses and gives you all those tokens to tribute for their effects, which is incredibly awesome and amazing.
It hurts people.
Yes.
Hurts people very badly. I don't like this deck. I don't know if I said that
Your
yet.
turn, sir? No, it's our turn. Next, we have 3 Generator Boss Quest. This card is stupid, is awesome, and I love it. You add this off Mardell, because this says you can reveal a generator monster in your hand, add 2 generator spells or traps with different names from your deck to your hand, and then that monster goes on the bottom of the deck. So with this, you're adding a generator boss fight more than likely, which is a trap we'll get to, and you're also adding this. So this special summons that monster that you put on the bottom of the deck. Deck is very synergistic, it's very nice, and I like it. Also, I like the RPG aspect of it as well. But yeah, this card's stupid, and it's great, and you just plus off it. It's awesome.
I'm still salty that you get to play this crap and I don't get to play Block Dragon.
Next, we have one of the best cards in the deck. 3 World Legacy Monstrosity. It's one of the best cards ever created for the deck. It's awesome. Basically, there's a quick play spell. It says you can either special summon a level 9 from your hand, or target a level 9 you control, special summon 2 other level 9 monsters, each with a different original type and attribute from that face-up targeted monster. So, and all the generators have different attributes and types from one another, except for maybe like some might share an attribute. I think like Ugarda and Mardell share an attribute or something.
Why did they make this?
That's insane. And so you can also special summon Italy off this.
Yeah.
Because this says those 2 that you special from deck die at end phase. Italy says level 9s you control can't be destroyed by card effects. So she keeps them alive.
And you've got...
And you pretty much got another free summon. And it doesn't negate their effects, which is also incredible.
Yeah.
Next, we're running 2 Kujikiri Curse. Not running 3. just running 2. This says you discard a level 9, you send a level 9 monster from your hand or face up field to the graveyard, draw 2 cards. It's just pluses.
That's nice.
Yeah, so if you draw into too many of your generator monsters and you got this, you got some ways.
You got ways to go.
Next, one of Staples, Regeki, good card. Lightning Storm, but I can actually use it whenever I want. 1 for 1.
Yeah.
Numeron Wall.
Yeah, you need to get wall.
Terraforming, Numeron Network, and also Generator Boss Stage.
Yep.
Next, onto the traps. Running 3, Generator Boss Fight. This says you can activate the boss stage from your deck or graveyard, and once you do that, your opponent draws a card.
Yep.
Which is awesome because that triggers the effect of the boss stage. Because if we go back to the boss stage,
Again, makes you have a bad day.
the special summon from deck effect is a soft once per turn. So if you activate another one and then they draw a card, you can get another special from the deck. The tokens are a hard once per turn though, so you don't get 2 token effects whenever it's their turn. But if you make them draw at their end phase afterwards and you get another special summon, it's always great.
Oh, at least there's some restriction on it.
And then finally, we're running control decks, so triple Imperm.
Yeah.
It's a good card.
It's
just a good card.
I run Imperm in a lot of stuff too. I can't fault you for that.
On to the extra deck. We got 1 Jormungandr, Generator Boss of Eternity. Not a lot of people use him. I don't particularly go into him a lot either, but he's pretty fun when you do. He says you can detach a material and then attach a card from your hand, or both players draw a card, and then they attach a monster or a card. Each player that drew attaches 1 card from their hand or field to him as material, and then he gains attack and defense times 1,000 equal to the number of material he has. So he's pretty fun, and he also that makes them trigger boss stage if you're in that much of a pickle.
Oh yeah. Awesome.
You're running level 9s, you're running True King.
Yes, you are.
You're running True King if you're running level 9s, don't care what anyone says. Really good card, makes them have a bad day.
Should be banned.
This on top of an S0 with the Numeron, or this on top of Har, it's just a bad day.
I mean, look, I play True King, and I think it should be banned.
It's just a bad day.
I believe it should be.
Alright, 9 Lives Cat. It's a level 9, and it special summons stuff out the grave. It's pretty nice. Just fill some extra deck space. Infinitrack Earth Slicer. I actually use this card to varying degrees sometimes. It's good removal. You can detach any number of materials from it to destroy that many cards on the board. If he's in the grave, I contribute 1 Machine Link monster, special summon it. Not really running Machine Links, but the destruction effect's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Also, he's pretty big at 31.
Yeah, hard to get over.
Next, running Numeron Gates, 2 Ekum, 2 Deve or whatever, 2 Trini, and then 1 Cadvari. It's just nice. You're running 3 callings, you're running 3 networks, you're running 3 walls. You want multiples of it in your extra deck in case you have to do it multiple times. But there's not enough space to run 2 of each. They can OTK, they can do whatever, and also they just go into the other stuff. So they're pretty good. They're pretty great.
I was about to ask, why are you only running 1 of number 4?
Again, just not enough space.
Okay.
C1, he's good if you're in a pinch.
Yeah,
I mean, why not?
he's fun to play.
S0, you're playing Numerons, you're playing S0.
Yes, you are. You have to.
Nightmare Unicorn, just needed some more extra deck space, and he's nice, and also he spins stuff, which is great. It's just a pretty good card. So if he can help you out if you're in a jam. And finally, you're playing Numeron, so you're also going to be playing Mega Clops. 4K, unaffected by everything except disease monsters. It's pretty nice, pretty nice. Don't really use it a lot myself, haven't really been playing this deck too long. But it's been giving me pretty good results. I usually just go into S0 and make them have a bad time, but he can also make them have a pretty bad time as well.
If you play Numerons, play Mega Clops. Just trust me on it.
Pretty much. And as for side deck, we're not really going to do that as part of tradition. So yeah, that's Generators.
Yep.
That's Generator Numeron, the most cancerous deck, one of the most cancerous decks ever.
The least fun deck that I've ever played against.
Usually with my side deck, I tend to Yeah, I tend to make the side deck more. I can side out the Numeron engine and then just put in more control cards, so like I can just switch up the deck there. Before this, I was running like Gravedigger Strap Hole, just a bunch of like I'd be like set 4, activate, boss stage, go. But yeah, that's Numeron generators. Anything to say there, Bobby? Other than you hate it and you wish it would die?
That's pretty much it. I hate it so much.
All right.